Oh my goodness, you caught me getting ready to drink my water. I was just finishing up my water. Hey, how y'all doing today? How you doing? My name is Antonio Cheeks and welcome to a live. We are doing a live stream tonight. It is Thursday night, 8 o'clock, top of the hour. And I want to thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight we are talking. Hey, if I haven't introduced myself before, to you, my name is Antonio Cheeks with the Cheeks Group. And this is one of our platforms that we use to engage our audience, which are leaders who are in the ministry and the marketplace. And this platform is our live streaming platform. We put out videos to help encourage you and help you find your rhythm. So I hope that we actually do that and are successful in doing that. So if this is your first time here, go ahead and in the comments or in the chats that you have here, say, hey, here I am. I'm here. Let's get it going. If you've been here before and you're a regular here, go say, hey, we're back to see you again. Welcome back. So go ahead and put that in the comments, in the chats, or the comments rather, and put that in right now so we can see that. Yeah. So matter of fact, let me go ahead over and see who we got here. All right, good. I got my people here in the house. Glad to have y'all in here. Welcome. So today we're talking about leading well, and we're starting this new series. We just finished a series talking about re-energizing or re-engineering your life, And we shifted from that. We had a really good session last week. So if you missed that session, make sure you go back and look at that. And if you haven't subscribed already, or if you haven't shared this video with anyone, go ahead and share this video, share this link, and say, hey, come on into the live stream. We are getting started. So this week we're doing a brand new series called Leading Well. And this series is prompted by some things that has happened with me as a leader. And I know that I'm not alone and that there's other leaders out here who need to lead well. And when I talk about leading well, I'm not talking about you leading well as if are you doing a good job in your leadership? My question is, are you being well as you lead? Like, are you taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually? Are you actually nourishing? Are you doing self-care as you move into your leadership role and your leadership journey? So that's what we're talking about. Now, why am I here? Why are we doing this? Why leadership? Why leading well? Well, there was an episode that happened to me on July the 25th, 2022. And it just built up, I guess. It just was a buildup of needing to make a change. So on that morning, July the 25th, I was driving into work. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm in my car. I wish I had a video of some cars just swerving on the road. But I actually had an incident where it seems as if I was fainting or starting to faint or pass out. And fortunately, I was able to stop the car, turn the car around and come back home, make it back home safely, call my doctor, got an appointment for the same day, which is interesting, with my doctor trying to get in on the same day. But I got in on the same day and I was able to see my doctor, and they ran a series of tests. And everything. They did a CT scan. They did my, what do you call the thing when they do your heart and your respiratory rate? They did an EKG on me, and a lot of stuff. So the test came back, my EKG came back, and they said, man, your EKG was better than the one you had at your last physical. So they said, wow, so you're doing better. My blood pressure was great. And then I had to do the brain scan. Now, this was interesting because I've always wanted to know what was inside my head. So they did the brain scan, and what they found out was that there was nothing there, just as I expected, nothing there. And so there it was. I had this episode. Everything seems to be fine. And then when all the results came back, my doctor turned to me and asked me, did I understand self-care? Now, I almost jumped out of my chair because I talk about this stuff. I talk about self-care and I talk about wellness and things of that nature. But I have not have not implemented the rules of the game for myself. And so that was my wake-up call. And then it was just interesting in the last couple of months, people have been reaching out or reconnecting, I would say. That's why I call this like the homecoming, because people have been reconnecting with me because of my past. Many of you may or may not know that I'm a former fitness professional. I actually worked in the industry, and I'm an author of a book, a fitness book called Not Another Workout, which was my take on the fitness industry and what was missing. And what was not needed was another workout. So that's an interesting book. That was in 2011. Been cited in the Washington Post, and also have been featured as a speaker on Voice of America TV. So wellness and fitness is not foreign to me. I've helped launch other fitness professionals into their business careers and things of that nature. So not foreign to me, but I had got myself away from it and was focusing more on leadership. But man, as you know, one of the toughest person to lead and the toughest person you may lead is going to be yourself. Leading yourself is going to be one of those tough things to do. So the question now is, and it was interesting, I saw a guy in the gym, I'm back in the gym, saw a guy in the gym that I know, and he said, Antonio, we need to start the conversation and you need to do it. And I said, I don't know everything. I don't remember everything. He said, all you got to do is stir up the pot. And I said, all right. He said, you just be the spoon that stir the pot up. And I said, all right, I can do that. I can start the conversation. I can stir the pot up. So the question is then for us is, are you leading well? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you looking out for those signals or those red flags, those indicators that something may need to be checked? And I think I knew things were going on, but I figured that I can push through it. You know how, you overachievers, you and I, we're overachievers. You know how you are. And you figure, hey, I can push through it. But the truth of the matter is we can't just push through it. We do have to slow down, take inventory of where we are, and how are we with our fitness, our wellness. And so what I call that is really just being, it all begins with your truth, with our truth, with your truth. Where are we? So for me, I just say, I'm gonna be clean. I'm gonna come clean with what's going on physically. So there are some underlying conditions that I need to be aware of or need to take care of or be serious about. Number one, high cholesterol. People will see me, they say, oh man, you're very trim. You trim, you slim, you don't have to worry about a lot of things that we have to worry about. And I say, you're being misled by the appearance, because there's some underlining issues that you're not seeing. And one is high cholesterol. So that's one of my truths, is that I deal and what, accepting that, I have to do things to help work with high cholesterol. Now, that's number one. Number two, what's going on with me? Number two, year after year, my doctor said, hey, you know what? When we do your blood work, it looks like you have a non-alcoholic fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver. So again, if you look at, on the outside, you're like, okay, everything is going on, everything is good. However, those underlying conditions can sneak up on you. So that's my truth, and that's what I'm doing. And part of this series of Leading Well is, number one, identifying what's my truth, and then addressing that. Because as you know, when you know the truth will set you free. You can't move forward trying to deny the truth. So go ahead and so let's do that right now. Why don't you go ahead, if you want to be honest about it, go ahead and put in, what is your truth from a wellness or health perspective that you need to bring to the forefront? What is your truth that, hey, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out on the table? It's like being Hey, my name is Antonio and I'm an alcoholic. You see about when you go to the AA meetings, that's one of, at least that's what I've seen on TV. I've never been to an AA meeting, but what I've seen on TV is that when they like growth or a breakthrough happens when you first admit that this is an issue for me. So yeah, so go ahead. Anybody want to challenge themselves if you feel brave enough to say, hey, you know what, this is my truth. I'm not even going to put it up on the screen because that's your truth. So if you want to do that, go ahead and put that out there. So we'll start from there. What is your truth from a wellness perspective? What are some of the things you need to um, take a little more seriously? Slow down a little bit. Is it stress that it's just a thing for you? You're just a workaholic. You're nonstop. You just go go go, and maybe that's something you need to revisit. Go ahead and put that out there. What's your truth? What do you need to work on? So we'll take that. I'm gonna take a moment and go over to the comments and see what's over there. I see y'all talking to each other. That's good. That's good. I see a couple of people out there. This is great. So go ahead out there and say your truth. If you are viewing this in the replay, go ahead and put in the chats or the comments and say, hey, I'm a replay person. I'm in the replay. I'm in the replay. Just put it out. I'm in the replay. And if you have a comment, if you're looking at this later, I'll answer those questions as we go along. So yeah, hey, happy to have y'all over here. This is great. This is great. So let me go back over to the presentation. So when you start to think about taking and changing up your health perspective and how you look at health, you have to think about a reason. What is your reason for turning things around? And so you got to have a reason. So because if you just go on your feelings can let you down. If you just go on your emotions can let you down. But you got to have a reason for the turnaround. You can't just say, hey, I feel like doing it. Or you can't just say to yourself, a good thing not to say to yourself is that, I'm going to do it based on how I feel. And when you wake up or before the day is up, if you don't feel like doing it, you won't do it. So it has to be a bigger reason behind it. For me, it could be, to be here for my family members, to be here for my wife and things of that nature, to be here for the people that I'm called to serve, to be the best the best version of myself, the best witness for people who will come around me. You need a bigger reason other than yourself. And it's interesting to me because one of the things that I hear year after year, it is always fascinating to me. I would hear athletes, and athletes, in my opinion, I'm thinking, man, they live in the best life. They're playing something that they dreamed about as a child. In most cases, they were kids, and they say, one day I'm going to go and I'm going to be at the pro level and I'm going to be in the big leagues. I mean, can you imagine? So their dreams come true. Their dreams come true. And I kept hearing something year after year from athletes, and it would always make me think, what are they talking about? And here's what they would say. They would say things like, I know we had a game yesterday, but I got to get back to work. They would say, I had to get back to work. And I was like, get back to work. And I would always like, what are they talking about? Because they play a sport. Because I'm thinking, and I played some sports, up through high school, and I said, man, it was not a work. It wasn't a job. But in their eyes, when they work out and take care of themselves, they speak about it as if it's a part of their job, so they can perform better at the highest level. So they go to work. And I used to hear that, and I used to always wonder, what are they talking about? Because they would say, yeah, we was in the gym, and we was working. And I was like, you're working. Now I get it. Because in order for you and I to do what we need to do at a higher level, we need to also go to work. We need to get to work. They go to work so they can be the highest and best version of themselves. So when they present themselves to us, it's the best version that they can provide. Likewise, we need to do the same, whether it be our witness, whether it be just us being being better at what we do. Our health is going to be the thing that brings us along the journey. The thing that helps us propel throughout the journey is going to be our health. And matter of fact, your health is actually your actual wealth. You know, how you take care of your health is your wealth. And they do that. So we have to also find our reason. I think I had that up earlier. We have to find our reason beyond ourselves to take on this well journey. Am I going to be well? Why? Because of this. So they're fighting and working so they can be better at their sport or their job, as they call it. We need to take care of our health so we can be better at the things that we do. So we have to work out. So one of the things I get from the athletes is that part of their work day is working out. So think about this. Chew on that for a minute. Part of their work day is working out. So if you and I work an 8-hour day, which, you know, we don't really work 8 straight hours a day. So there's some breaks in there. There's you're not working every minute of every hour. So there's some time in there where you're just relaxing a little bit too. But if we were to take the approach that, okay, I'm gonna work an 8-hour day, and then 1 extra hour of work is on my physical being, whether it be, you know, a stretching class, whether it be 1 hour of just walking, riding your bike. It's not, athletes and entertainers that are preparing for a role, they don't see that there's not a separation between their work and their workout. It's part of the same process. So imagine, if you will, that you have a 7 to 8 hour day and you extend that to a 7 or 8.5 hour day or a 9-hour day. Part of that time, that half an hour to an hour, is you actually taking care and investing back into yourself. Let me just say that and just let that resonate for a minute. Because I believe what people mostly do in their mind, it's, I got to go to work, and then this separate thing, I got to make room for exercise and taking care of my health and doing things and taking a walk. That's something extra. But what if we shift our mindset and start including that as part of our work? Like, your day is not finished until you complete your work, and taking care, like exercising or moving, some type of movement is part of your work. Wouldn't that be something? That you got to have a big reason, a big why. So as I'm searching through, every now and then, I'm going to throw in a scripture that will also help solidify or back up what we're talking about here. Another reason you and I may want to start taking our health a little more seriously is, I found a scripture in 1 Corinthians. I'll give you a moment to go there if you want to. 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16. Now, I saw sometimes it's good to read the scriptures in different versions, different variations, so you can get, like, you know, it got different, I don't know, I think when you do that, you get a fuller meaning of what's happening in the scriptures. So, you know, I'm looking here at this scripture here, and there's 2 parts of it. This is 1 Corinthians 3:16, and it says, "Do you not know that you are God's temple, and that God's Spirit dwells in you?" I said, oh, now that's a reason to, you know, really start taking your health and fitness a little more seriously, is because your body, you in the plural, so we talk about all of us, are God's temple, and that's where the Holy Spirit dwells. And I think, you know what, that's a good place to start. And as a matter of fact, I'm looking at the ESV, English Standard Version. So if you're tracking along, I'm looking at the English Standard Version of it. However, I kept reading, and it went. So let me back up. Let me back up. So this is First Corinthians. Paul is actually talking to the church of Corinth, and they have this. The people in the church of Corinth are having this, they're starting to fall apart. They're having this thing where they're picking sides, and some people are choosing, they're like, oh, Apollos is the one we are following. Oh no, we're following Paul. And Paul's like, look, let's get this all straight. You know, y'all are still, and in there he's talking about how I should be feeding y'all. Y'all should be getting food. You know, y'all should be getting deeper revelations of scripture and stuff like that. And he said, y'all are still on milk. Y'all need to grow. And then in the middle of chapter 3, he goes into this thing about your temple. And then in a little notes for it, it was talking about your physical being, right? So let's go to the next verse. The very next verse says this. So we got, do you not know that you're God's temple and that God's spirit dwells in you? That's verse 16. Verse 17, I don't know, Ralph probably already got there. He says, check this out. He says, it says, if anyone destroys God's temple, which is what? You, God will destroy him. For God's temple is holy, and you are, there it is, you are that temple. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is that by itself a reason you should start considering taking better care of you? I was like, man, you know what? I'm done. I said, at a minimum, I need to take care of myself, because now I have the knowledge that this is where the dwelling place of God's spirit. So, man, that's just crazy. That let me see what's happening over here. I see something up on the screen there. Oh, okay, Karen. You know what? I like you putting that out there like that. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Good. I like that. Thanks for helping out. You know what? I'm gonna get you a prize. 1 Corinthians 3:16, and then go ahead into 17 as the next part of that chapter there, and that verse there, 3:16 and 17 is like, hey, don't take care of yourself. I'll take care of you. And you know, we all have a time. However, we can, I believe we can speed that time up with neglect. When we neglect ourselves, when we neglect what how we're supposed to take care of ourselves. And one of the things that, if I go, and we're going to take a commercial break to stretch our minds a little bit, but one of the things that we need to work on, that is this silent thing called stress, and managing our stress. I think last week when we did this live stream, we talked about stress and how like 80%, 75 to 80% of a lot of the doctor visits, they manifest as one thing, but the root cause in a lot of areas is stress, and being able to manage that stress. And so you and I as leaders, we really got to get better at how we manage our stress. So through this series, we're going to talk about some stress management techniques. And again, I'll stir the pot up. I don't have to have all the answers. I'll have some people come on that will answer that. And then number two, we need to fight this battle with sugar that's in everything. You can't have a hot dog and French fries and put some ketchup on there and not get sugar. I mean, it's going to be sugar even in the ketchup, you know, so you can't get around it. But that sugar, what I did in some of my research here is that the U.S. purchased, now talking about around the world, the U.S., I got to look at this some more, but it's saying that the U.S. purchased about over 50% of the sugar is purchased in the U.S. And you probably know, if you've ever had like a chocolate candy bar from Europe overseas, and then you have a chocolate bar, the same chocolate bar here in the US, there's going to be a big difference in the taste. Have you ever experienced that? You're like, wait a minute, where's my sugar? Where's the sweetness? It's in the sugar. And if we remove that, we are so addicted to that sugar that it has this effect on our brain as if we're taking heroin in some cases. They were doing, researchers was doing studies, and they were looking at the brain and the brain activity when we have all this sugar in us. And I think when they did the with mice, man, mice went crazy having that extra sugar in their systems. I like what Mark is saying here. Let's go ahead and bring this one up on the screen. I like this one. Good health is not something we can buy. However, it can be an extremely valuable savings account. Oh my goodness. I like that. Good health is not something we can buy. However, it can be an extremely valuable savings account. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I said, I remember when I was deep in the fitness, arena, I would talk to people, and some people would actually have a line item, a budget line item for their health. I was like, this is fantastic. You believe in your well-being so much that you have a budget line item for health. Now, and then there would be other people who say, I ain't got time for this. And my thing is, you're going to pay, man, this is along to what Mark is saying. You're going to pay now or later. And I like what you're saying is a valuable, extremely valuable savings account. You're going to pay now or later. If you take the time out to invest in your wellness now, you will not have to do that later. You'll actually have the fruits of your savings, right? Of you putting in the work now and not having the regrets of not taking care of yourself early. Man, that's a mouthful. Man, where are we at on time here? Let me see where we are. Okay, I'm almost 30 minutes into this, and I don't try to keep you long, but let's take a commercial break. So we're going to take a little commercial break here, and yes, commercial break time. And so, since we're talking about wellness, this commercial is going to be brought to you by Ralph Hastings Spain. And today we're going to talk about life insurance, affordable life insurance. We're talking about that today. Look, if you're not going to get yourself healthy, you better hurry up and get yourself some life insurance now anyway. If you are healthy, there's no better time to get life insurance. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Your health affects your life insurance purchase. The healthier you are, the more favorable you look in the eyes of the insurance companies. Now, hey, look, if you got health, we were talking about savings, right? Mark was talking about savings. If you want to save on taking care of your family and taking care of your business, maybe you need insurance for your business. You might need insurance for your family. You might have a child going to school, and you want to make sure that while they're in school, you have this backup plan in case something happens to you that can complete your wishes. Life insurance can help you with that. And, whether it be term, perm, not the perm in your hair, I ain't talking about that anyway, but term, permanent, whole, index, so many different things. And there's so many things out there that you could do. However, Ralph Hastings Spain can help you. And he is the guy that we're going to talk about today in this commercial. If you don't care about it, don't worry about it. But if you're concerned about leaving an inheritance for your family, if you're concerned about, hey, I got good health right now, let me see what I can qualify for. Because a lot of people think it's a given that you have life insurance, that you can get life insurance. I know what that comes from, because you have a job, and on your job, you say, oh, I got coverage through my job. Well, that is not your life insurance. I know. Look, I'm just putting out, that's not your life insurance. That's you getting a certificate of coverage. You don't own the policy unless you leave the job, and they will offer you to buy it at a substantially higher rate. So you need to have your own. So no matter what happens, you have your own coverage. Now, if you're interested in at least talking about what's going on with life insurance, you can go ahead and reach out to Ralph. He's a nice he's a nice guy. You know, sometimes you just want to do business with people who are nice. So here's his email address. It's Ralph@gosimplified.com. I think I got that right. I know, Ralph, if you are out there, you'll let me know if I messed that up. But Ralph@gosimplified.com is the email address. I'm gonna let that stay up. That's our commercial break, and it gives me a break to get some water. And then I'm gonna go over to the comments and see what's happening in the comment area. Go ahead and put your comments out, because I'm getting ready to go over there now. If you got comments, questions, or concerns, I'm getting ready to go over there in a second. All right. So here we go. All right, let me see what's going on. I'm gonna leave it up just for a couple more seconds here, and then we'll be off commercial time. Hey, also, we're coming up to this is the last quarter of the year. Some of you tax, I don't know how that works, but talk to your tax accountant. You might need to invest in something, or not invest, but maybe get life insurance as a way of, I don't know, maybe putting your money somewhere where you can reduce taxes. I don't know. I'm not a tax guy, but talk to Ralph about that. He has networks of tax people as well. So go ahead and do that. All right. That's our commercial. Let me get off of that. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna leave that right there. Let me go over the comments, see what's happening in the comments. Whoa. Okay, a lot of stuff. Okay, good. Oh, I like what Karen put out there. Health is wealth. That's right. Hey, let me bring this up here. It says, on the matter of stress, a sad soul can be just as lethal as a bad germ. Mark, I gotta have you come on. You talking so much stuff. I'm ready, Mark. I'm ready to send you a link right now, man, and to say, man, just come on. But I know we're gonna do it. We're gonna get you on here. I like that. Let me keep on going here. I like that, Mark. Oh, here's something. Good health is a valuable currency in buying life insurance. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that, hey, no matter what my condition is, or the one that, Ralph, I know you hear this a lot, I'm sick. Let me call a life insurance professional now. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's too late. Well, let me put it to you this way. It's not too late. If you can afford it, because the insurance company they're gonna get you coverage, but you got to understand that you're ill, you're sick. That's not a good investment for the company. So while you have your health, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and get you some life insurance. I see. Oh man, no problem, man. You're welcome. Anytime. So let me go ahead and get y'all got the email address. Oh man, y'all are bringing it in here. Look at it. Healthy citizens are the greatest assets any country can have. Winston Churchill. Man, you know what? We're going to talk about that, because I'm looking at the young people now that's coming up, and I'm like, these people are frail. I don't know what they're eating, but nobody has any legs now. I guess because they're trying to get into the tight, skinny things. But I'm like, where are your legs at? You got to work your legs. That's your foundation. But anyway, that's for another session. And I've been talking to my guys at the studio, the fitness studio. We're going to do some sessions from the studio, walking through some workout things that we can do, and some exercises, maybe some stretching routines. We're going to do that. And maybe we might have this one for those who are local in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, that maybe we'll have a day where we all come together one evening, and we'll do a live. Maybe we'll have the studio do a what kind of class is it? A group exercise class for those who've been following the videos here, and we'll actually live stream from the exercise studio. I think that would be fun. Have a day with that. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let me find out what else is going on here. All right, cool. So the other thing that stood out to me as far as a reason your reasons comes from Romans 12:1, and it says, I appeal to you, therefore, brethren and sisters, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice. And check this out, holy and acceptable to God. Now, which is your spiritual worship? Now, I'm reading from the ESV version, and they say spiritual worship. And I think in other versions, which is they might say reasonable sacrifice, or reasonable. What else do they say out there? You church people, you theologians out there. But there's other things that they say as well. They don't always say, but I like spiritual worship. Because when I actually get in the groove and start taking care of my health, let's say I'm doing some cardio, I'm on a bike or a treadmill or an elliptical, I'm going to share with you that I actually feel like I'm in worship. It's something about, and that's just for me, and that's another, we're going to talk about it as well. We're not talking about saying, hey, we're going to, during this season or these sessions, we're going to be prescribing things that are for everybody. You and I have to listen to ourselves, listen to our bodies to figure out, hey, what's going to be best for my body and my journey. I had a discussion with someone earlier about somebody was in the gym and they was like throwing weights around. And, I had to break it and explain that, they may not be wrong. It depends on what outcome they're looking for. Are they looking to work out for power? Maybe they want to be a power, like you see in the Olympics, the power lifters. So they're going to be grunting in the gym and they're going to be, making a lot of noise, and they're going to be pushing weights. They're going to be doing 1 and 2 reps. Don't worry about that. We were talking earlier. I was like, we just want to look good in our suits when we put our suit on. So that's not even our thing. So we're not going to get caught up in all the fads. We're going to really figure out what's going to be best for our body. What time of the day is best for us? What what eating times are best for us. We're going to figure it out because each individual is different. I'm playing around with different times of days to work out, because I'm finding out now that if I don't know, I thought I wanted to do early mornings, but that may not be the best time for me. You got to just listen to yourself. So, man, that's cool. All right. So look, I'm going to turn this over. Thanks for your comments, your questions, your concerns. I appreciate all of that. I do. This is going to be a fun journey. We're going to talk about some things. I got my notes. Okay, let me give you some news. So in the upcoming weeks, we're probably going to push back a little bit on the frequency of the videos. Probably every other week instead of every week, because some things are changing with my work and school. I'm still in school. Work in school that I want to stay on top of, and I got to see how things are going to happen with a new assignment that's coming my way. I don't know what it's going to feel like yet, so I'll let you know. But I believe at a minimum, we're pushing back to once every other week instead of every Thursday, once every other Thursday. And if it happens that I have to do once a month, I'll let you guys know. It won't be a bad thing. It'll just be richer, because if I have to take more time before I get in front of you, I'll have more time to get interviews together, to set up things, like I said, at the studio. We'll have more time in between weeks to set things up so it can be perfect for you. Well, that's all I have for tonight. Again, share this video. Even if you look at the rebroadcast, share the link of the rebroadcast. If you're live, go ahead and share the link to people. If you have not liked or subscribed to the video, make sure you do that. If you share the video with somebody else, say, hey, look, I'm sharing this video with you. Make sure you subscribe so you won't miss anything when we do another session. So anyway, thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate it. And again, let's get to work. Let's find your reason. Let's get to work and add wellness as part of your day, as part of your work, not a separate thing apart from your work. Make it part of your work, because you have to do it, because you have to show up. And when you show up, you want to be the best version of yourself showing up. Hey, that's it for me. I'm Antonio Cheeks with the Cheeks Group, helping leaders in ministry and the marketplace. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Take care and have a good night. Enjoy your evening.